This Dutch woman has been hailed as the most dominant athlete on the planet. 42 Grand Slam titles, 12 times a world champion, 5 Paralympic gold medals, 679 wins and just 25 losses. Esther Vergeer is a legend. The 30-year-old has been the world's #1 female wheelchair tennis player since 1999. She's won her last 457 matches, an incredible winning streak that goes all the way back to January 2003. Trans World Sport travelled to the Netherlands to meet up with Esther recently.
As long as I keep improving, I'll keep finding the motivation. And that motivation is to push myself to the absolute limit. Of course, I've achieved my goal of being #1, and I've got gold medals. But the fact that I can still see areas where I can improve means that I'm not ready to think about stopping just yet. I want to prove that I can be even better.
Hailing from Verden, a place midway between Amsterdam and Rotterdam, Esther was just 8 years old when an operation on defective blood vessels around her spinal cord went wrong, leaving her paralyzed.
Indeed, it was like starting a new life. In the beginning, it was a real struggle. Everything that seemed second nature, like getting dressed, washing, playing hide and seek, or tag at school, was now a challenge. I really had to learn everything again. I think that maybe that was the most difficult thing of all. And it's quite tough when you realize that you can't do all the things that your friends do anymore.
It was sport that helped Esther to adjust to her new way of life. In Holland, anyone confined to a wheelchair is given a sports chair and the offer of a year's coaching from the government. She learned to play wheelchair basketball and tennis.
In the beginning, sport was a means for me to come to terms with my disability, to accept my wheelchair, and to quite literally get to grips with it. It also helped me to get to know myself, and to find out who I was and what I was capable of, what my limits were, and how I could break through some of those barriers, to become fearless and courageous.
In her teens, Esther excelled at wheelchair basketball and was part of the Dutch team that won the 1997 European Championships. However, when she was 17, she chose to concentrate solely on tennis. In 1998, she won the US Open and within a year had established herself as world #1. Mark Kalkman is Esther's longtime coach.
It was her mental ability that immediately jumped out at me, and at the time it convinced me to start working with her. Her will to win and her willingness to work hard impressed me. You could see that she had those qualities just by looking into her eyes. I could tell she was someone who wanted to go all the way.
And it's been quite a journey for the Dutch woman. At the 2000 Sydney Paralympics, Esther claimed gold without dropping a set, and she also won the doubles competition. 4 years later, she repeated that success in Athens and added another singles gold to her collection in Beijing. Along with those achievements, Esther has managed to win every Grand Slam singles title since 2002 and all but one of the doubles titles. Her dominance on the court has earned her 2 prestigious Laureus Sport Awards, as well as enough money to turn professional.
In my opinion, Esther is the complete player. Tennis is a combination of the tactical and the technical, and you have to be strong both physically and mentally. Esther has those 4 qualities in abundance. When compared to other players, there are some who are better tactically, and some who have a better technique, but then some areas of their game lets them down. Overall, Esther is very good at everything.
Since 1992, wheelchair tennis in Holland has been fully integrated with the Dutch Tennis Federation. This has raised the standard of the wheelchair game here considerably. As a result, many of the world's top players are Dutch. Esther trains in Amsterdam alongside Michael Scheffers, who's currently second in the men's rankings. Since its beginnings in the 1970s, wheelchair tennis has continued to grow. Over the last 10 years, the number of yearly tournaments has risen from 14 to 170, and the sport became a Paralympic event at the 1992 Games in Barcelona. The rules are the same as able-bodied tennis, except that the ball is allowed to bounce twice.
We're often making figures of 8 in the chair, and in many situations, we'll have our backs to our opponents, so we're unable to see them. Restricted mobility also means that you're often not in an ideal position to hit a perfect ball. If, for example, a shot is fired directly at you, wheelchair tennis players are unable to make those small adjustments to the left or right. So they're the main challenges in our game.
Off the court, Esther supplements her modest income from prize money with public speaking engagements. She's also made it her mission to raise the profile of disabled sports and to set up a number of charitable foundations that encourage children with physical disabilities to get involved with sport. The 2012 Paralympics begin in London towards the end of August, and they'll offer the perfect opportunity for Esther to showcase her sport to the watching world.
It's not often that there is a large amount of media attention focused on disabled sport. In general, we don't get too much attention. So to have that opportunity once every 4 years, to show who you are, what you're capable of, what you stand for, and what you can achieve, is a beautiful thing.
Now aged 30, Esther shows no signs of relinquishing her dominance of the tennis court anytime soon. This year, she's already won the Australian and French Open championships with ease, and it's almost certain that she'll add Paralympic gold too.
I want to raise the level of wheelchair tennis, and I want to raise the level of disabled sport in general. But if I have to be specific about a remaining goal, then a gold medal in London is something that I've been focusing on exclusively for the past 3 years. Everything is about the 7th of September, the gold medal match. I've already started dreaming about it. I can already see myself on the court. I can already hear the national anthem. And I've even got an empty photo frame ready and waiting, in the hope that I can fill it with a great photo from London. That's the goal.
En daar ga ik voor.